What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality Podcast. I am your host. I'm Caitlin Kenna-Smith, and the day that this episode goes out, it's January 12th. So it's the second Friday of the new year, and we're almost 2 weeks into the new year. So right now, I want you to do an honest reflection. I want you to ask yourself, have I kept the promises that I've made to myself, the goals that I've set for myself on January 1st? Am I still in the process of getting to that goal? Or have you already quit? See, the unfortunate truth is that a lot of people have already quit. And 80% of people, statistically, will quit by mid-February. So if you haven't already quit, and you know that you're that person who constantly sets those New Year's resolution goals, and you always end up in the same spot that you were at the beginning of the following year, then you really have to ask yourself, what are you going to change this time around in order to make this shit happen? You can accomplish anything that you want in your life. You just need to trust and believe that you can, but you also have to take action on those things and keep promises that you make to yourself. Now, today I want to talk about a concept, a word, and this word, when actually used in your life, is going to change your life because it's changed mine and it's changed the people that I coach. It's a simple word, and I'll talk about that in a bit, but first, I want to talk about why you might be in this situation, why you may have already stopped, and it's January 12th, or why other people around you have stopped. Because I know for a lot of people who listen to this podcast, you're serious about accomplishing big things in your life. But I also know that you're human, and human beings need to learn. And I know that a lot of people listen to this podcast because they are struggling, because they're in a spot where they want to achieve more, but they can't seem to make it happen. And that's why I want to help you with these concepts, because it's helped me in my life. And when I go back and I reflect on all the bullshit that I used to tell myself when it was the new year, when you say, okay, this is the year that I'm going to get in shape. This is the year that I'm going to get stronger. This is the year that I'm going to start my online coaching business. That shit never happened. And I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. Because I didn't believe in myself. But why? Why don't you believe in yourself? Why didn't I believe in myself? We'll get to that. But first, like I said, why do a lot of people find themselves in this position where it's not even 2 weeks into the new year and they've already stopped? They've already broken the process. It happens for two reasons. One, and this is the biggest thing that I've seen, you're doing the things, it's January 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, you're feeling good, and then on the 5th or the 6th, ooh, fuck, something happened. You had something that wasn't on your nutrition plan because life got a little bit out of control that day. You went a little bit over on your calories where you just completely blew it out of proportion. You had a drink, you had some pizza, you had some dessert. You missed a workout. You told yourself you were going to make X amount of phone calls at work that day, and you didn't. You did something that was not on the plan. And you allowed that one mess up or that one little moment to cause you to quit. It's kind of like if you were driving down a road and you hit a nail and you got a flat tire in one of your wheels. You pull over, you call AAA, or, you're an independent person, so you change your own tires. I know how to change my own tires, by the way. I was taught how to. It's a really good skill to have, FYI. But either way, you change the tire, and then you get back on the road and you move on with your life. However, every single time that you're on a path, on a journey towards a goal, and you mess up, it's kind of like getting a nail in your tire. But instead of just pulling over to the side of the road and changing the tire or calling AAA, you pull over to the side of the road, you get out of the car, and you take a knife and you start slashing all of the other tires. How stupid does that sound? But you keep doing that to yourself every single time that you're on a journey towards a goal and you have a little bump. And then you say, well, fuck. It happened again. I failed. I guess I'll just start over. But then you continue to start over, and then eventually you doubt that you can even do it, so you quit trying. These things are just obstacles. Failure is literally part of the process, and that's something that I want you to understand, is that if you're not failing, then I challenge that you're not actually pushing yourself enough on the journey. So if you can accept that failure is part of the process and you can't actually succeed without failure, then it makes you feel a lot better. It kind of takes that weight off your shoulder, and you can drop that bullshit that you keep telling yourself that's the excuse as to why you won't start, because you're afraid of failure. You can't be afraid of something that's guaranteed to happen. But we may not be able to control if we fail or not, because like I said, you're going to fail. No matter how fucking good you are, you're going to fail. And like I said, if you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough, you're not pushing the boundaries enough, you're not getting uncomfortable enough. But one thing that I've found is that with failure comes incredible growth if you use it the right way. You have to take the failure and you have to fail forward. And here's your equation for accomplishing really anything in your life. Is you got to take action, and then you're going to fail. And then you have to reevaluate and then fucking take action again. That's your equation to winning at anything in life. Whatever your goal is, build a business, be an incredible employee at a business, achieve some sort of a weight loss goal or a muscle building goal or an athletic feat, or just be a really good fucking human. You have to take action, take action, fail, reevaluate, take action again. And you continue that cycle, and over time, those things start to compound, and you start to see results. But here's where people fail. They take action, they fail, and then they stop. And, there was a really good story that I had that kind of relates to this, and it kind of starts to show you how truly silly it sounds that you would quit after not succeeding at something. So on Monday into Tuesday, we had some really wild storms here. And I know that a lot of people all over the country had some crazy storms because it kind of worked its way through. But we had some really fucking wild storms. And I couldn't sleep. My neighbor, who's actually my partner in the 8-week challenge, she texted me at like 3 a.m. and was like, I can't sleep. This is crazy. And I was like, yeah, I know. I can't believe we didn't lose power. I'm super just like tossing and turning. It was a terrible night of sleep. And when I texted her immediately back when she woke up, I guess later that morning, and she was like, wow, I didn't sleep at all last night. I was just tossing and turning with the storm. I said, hey, no worries. Like, we get back to it tonight. Think about that. We get back to it tonight. And she was like, yeah, absolutely. Because what the fuck are you going to do? Quit at trying to sleep because you had one poor night of sleep? No, that sounds really silly, doesn't it? But you keep doing that with other things in your life. For example, your nutrition. You have one poor day of nutrition and you say, well, I guess this nutrition thing ain't for me. I guess I'm not supposed to be healthy. Wrong. Incorrect. Just get right back to it. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to overcorrect. All you have to do is just get right back on the routine. Like you didn't even skip a beat. And you learn from that failure and you're saying, okay, cool. Well, what can I do next time that this situation comes up so that maybe I can be more successful? You learn from that failure and you grow from that failure. But only if you make the choice to. So, most people, why they get to this point where they fail and then they quit is because of how they start. They start with trying instead of committing. They say that they're going to try this or try that. I'll try to lose weight. I'll try this new diet. I'll try this new business thing. Instead of saying, I'm committing to this. There's a huge difference because when you try, it's kind of like you're interested. And I've spoken about this on the podcast before. There's a whole episode about it. You're interested or you're committed. Those who are interested are going to do it when it's convenient. They're going to do it when the situation is ideal, which is rare. right? So then when the situation becomes not ideal, they quit, and then they're never consistent enough to actually earn results. Now, those who are committed, they get it done regardless, and they do not accept excuses. Here's the word, the concept, it's commitment. Commitment, this concept, this word is the thing that's literally going to change your life if you use it the right way. Back in 2021, when I really started to change my life, when I started doing different things and I focused on personal development after the whole government shutdown, when I lost my job and I was furloughed from the gym, I realized that I had a really great opportunity if I used it the right way. I had all of this time that was given to me to be able to do the things that I told myself that I wanted. I wanted to build an online coaching business. I wanted to not work for somebody else. I didn't want to be a general manager forever because, quite frankly, I thought it was everything that I wanted, but it wasn't. I wanted to be able to create. I wanted to be able to impact more people. And I was terrified to do it. It took me so long to actually take action on this. And when I did was when my back was kind of against the wall. And when I started 75 Hard for the first time, back in 2020, actually, got my years messed up. Back in 2020, when I started 75 Hard for the first time, I told myself that was it. I was going to, no matter what, keep the commitments that I made to myself. Everything that I told myself that I was going to do, I was going to do it. I was going to execute no matter how crappy I felt, no matter how much I didn't want to do something, no matter how much it didn't feel like it worked. If I said I was going to do something, I was going to show up for myself and keep integrity to myself. And now it's a rule that I keep for myself now, and it's literally changed my entire life, because instead of just saying, I'm going to do this, and then I'm kind of tired, so I guess I'll do it tomorrow, I said, I'm going to do this, and then when I felt tired, I said, you know what, fuck it, I said I was going to do this. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to have integrity for myself like I would anybody else. When you start to keep the commitments that you make to yourself, your life starts to elevate. And the reason for that is because you're just doing the things that you said you were going to do, and you're building the skill of grit, fortitude, and discipline. And all of those things are what's required for you to be successful in anything in life. I talk about it a lot. You can do anything that you want in your life, but the problem is that most people, they stop. They stop before they're even close to seeing any sort of result because it takes too long, because they tried so hard. They tried. They didn't commit. So you can do anything that you want in your life. I'm going to keep repeating that because I want you to understand that. If you told me 6 years ago when I was dying in an eating disorder clinic, when I was 89 pounds and I was miserable, that I would be sitting here today training to be a competitive CrossFit athlete, coaching so many people, have created such an incredible impact, and talking to a camera on a podcast that I've built, I would call you stupid because I wouldn't have believed it. Because back then I wasn't keeping the commitments that I made to myself. I would tell myself, today I will start to eat more. And then I wouldn't. Because it was a little scary. Or didn't feel like it today. Tomorrow I'll do it. And then I just kept putting it off. And I wasted so much of my life putting it off. How much of your life are you wasting by putting it off? We only get so many tomorrows. So if you can do this, if you can set a standard and then keep that standard, and just remind yourself every single day, no matter what, keep the commitments that I make to myself. No matter what happens, no matter how I feel, no matter what life throws at me, I'm going to keep the commitment. And I'm going to warn you right now, there are going to be days where things aren't going to be ideal. Where life's going to throw you a couple more obstacles, a couple more curveballs, and you're going to have to adapt. Look, routines are great, and routines usually deliver results. However, if you're unable to function when life throws you out of your routine, then what's the point? You're too reliant on the routine. You can't function without it. You have to be able to have the mental flexibility and the ability to adapt to situations that are going to come up. That's why I like to say always, no problems, only solutions. Most people, most humans look at the problem instead of looking at something and saying, okay, what's the solution? Because there is a solution to everything, but we're usually too focused on the problem to actually be able to have a clear mind to figure out what that solution is. So if you come at it from a different perspective and you say, okay, here's what's happening, what's the solution? Instead of, damn, this is a problem. Then what comes from it? Then you freak out for a little bit and then eventually maybe you find a solution. So here's my challenge for you, because I always give you some sort of an action to take away so that you can apply it to your life, and instead of just taking in information and hearing it and getting motivated and inspired by it, but then not doing shit about it, because action cures everything. And if you listen to my podcast and you don't take action on it, I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you. I'm committed to helping you. But I need you to commit back. It's a two-way street. You got to meet me halfway type thing. If you commit to this for the next 60 days, I promise you two things. One, you're going to see results and you're going to be so addicted to the results that you see that you will stick with it because you've built the skill of discipline. And two, you're going to be more confident in yourself. And if you're more confident in yourself, you're going to be better at all of the things that happen in your life. Think about when you walk around, you're wearing like the best outfit where you just feel good in that outfit. How much better are you in life? How much better are you at your job when you feel good about how you look? Same thing with confidence. The more confidence you have, the better you operate in life, the more efficient you are. But Caitlin, how do I build confidence from just keeping a commitment to myself? Think about it in the reverse. I'm sure you probably have somebody that you know in your life, a friend, a family member, or somebody maybe who you've known in the past, who would always cancel things at like the last minute. You would set a date to go get coffee, and then 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before, 15 minutes, whatever, an hour before, they would text you and say, hey, I can't make it. And they did that more often than not. Over time, you start to lose confidence in their ability to show up. You don't believe in the things that they say they're going to do. If they tell you they're going to do something, you're probably like, yeah, that sounds great. But in the back of your head, you're like doubting them. You don't really trust them too because they keep breaking promises to you and they don't have integrity. Oh, that's weird, right? That's what happens to you. When you break the commitments that you make to yourself and you stop showing up for yourself, or you tell yourself you're going to do something and then you don't do it because something came up or you felt a certain way, then over time you start to lose trust in yourself. You start to lose confidence in your ability to do things, and you don't believe that you can do something because you know that you always quit. Now reverse that. What if you kept every commitment that you made to yourself? What if when you told yourself you were going to do something, you showed up and you did it? And you didn't just do it, you gave your full effort and intent to it. Over time, you start to build confidence, you start to trust yourself. You start to believe that you can do it. And then when you have belief and confidence, nothing can really stop you at that point. Because the effort and the intent that you put into the thing that you're committed to doing is next level. And I know that a lot of people think that they're working as hard as they possibly can, because I've been in that position where I think there's nothing more I can do. I'm doing everything that I possibly can do. I hate to break it to you, but you're not. There's another level. There's another level that you didn't even think was possible. But you'll never find that level until you start to knock on that door and start to chip away through that wall. So here's your challenge. Over the next 60 days, commit. Commit to something. Commit to keeping every commitment that you make to yourself no matter what. No matter what. Because your excuses sound stupid to everyone but you. My excuses sound stupid to everyone but me. It's true. So I hope that you learned a lot from this podcast episode, and I hope that it inspires you to take action and to take the challenge and keep the commitments that you make to yourself over the next 60 days. It's going to take a lot more than 60 days for you to achieve your goal, but like I said, you'll be so addicted to the results because you're building the skill of discipline, grit, and fortitude that you'll be hooked. Now go out today and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.